Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the What the Fitness you've all been waiting for. Liver King versus Biolayne. Next on What the Fitness. All right, guys, I can't believe I've never done a WTF on Liver King. When I first saw his videos, I thought, wow, that's so insanely stupid, nobody will believe that. Unfortunately, I underestimated the stupid. And as I tell people, never underestimate the stupid. A guy doing simulated hunts to be ancestrally consistent while he's also flying in a private jet. And then the consistent claims of him being all natural and, not using performance enhancing drugs. Is it possible that he is natural and I'm just a hater? Yes, I suppose it's possible. It's also possible that there is a teacup orbiting Saturn. Now, can I specifically and absolutely disprove that there's a teacup orbiting Saturn? No, I cannot. But I'm pretty sure there's not a teacup orbiting Saturn. That's what I'm saying. I have a very specific claim of his I want to address because he was recently on, was it Logan Paul or Jake Paul? I think it was Logan Paul's podcast. What stupidity could possibly arise from Liver King being on Logan Paul's podcast? Because as we all know, the Paul brothers are definitely highbrow scientific integrity.
There's radioisotope labeling studies that show conclusively that when you eat an organ, the corresponding organ in your body will receive the nourishment. Most of the nourishment will go there.
I was gonna ask, does it matter what animal you're eating the organ from? Is it a cow? Is it, dare I say, a fellow human? Do I need to eat human testicles for my test? I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
These are fucking human femur bones.
I'm sorry,
okay,
what?
These are not human femur bones.
Okay.
Oh, man, dude.
Whoa. Man, dude.
Here's the thing. I believe the stronger the animal, the more strength you're going to derive.
All right, primals. So I did isotopic labeling in my PhD research, actual research. Now what he's referring to with these isotopes is with different elements, like carbon, for example. Carbon typically has a molecular weight of 12 because it has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. However, there's also heavier versions of carbon, like C13 and C14. Also nitrogen, which is typically a molecular weight of 14, has heavier versions like N15. So these elements, for example, C13, C14, N15, they are heavier than the predominant types of carbon and nitrogen. And so they can actually separate them if they're radioactive using like a scintillation counter or a GCMS, gas chromatography mass spectroscopy, which is what we used, in order to separate the heavier elements from the lighter elements. And depending on the enrichments of those, it can tell them various things. Like, for example, some of you may remember on the Game Changers, they talked about why gladiators must have been vegan because of the enrichment of certain stable isotopes in their bones.
The Roman gladiators.
The gladiators were predominantly vegetarian.
That comes from research demonstrating that based on the amount of N15 in human bones, they could kind of get an idea of what diet they ate. And we also do a lot of human metabolic tracer studies where we give people or animals stable isotopes labeled in various spots, and then look at where those wind up in the body. So that's what he's referring to. So he's saying, well, if I eat liver, that liver is gonna wind up in my liver. That's not really the way that works. If you ate a liver that was labeled with, say, N15 on some of the amino acids, would some of those amino acids wind up in your liver? Yeah, because that piece of liver you ate with those amino acids would get broken down through digestion, turned into their constituent amino acids, absorbed into your system, and your liver would take some of them. Your muscle would take some of them, your brain would take some of them. But it's not like it's taking more into the liver because you ate liver compared to, well, if you ate muscle, you'd get more that would go into your muscle. There are no studies showing what he just said. If that was the case, because most of us are eating the muscle tissue of animals when we're having steaks and chicken or whatever it is, we would all be jacked as hell. We'd all look like Liver King, all right? When you eat food, it goes through this process called digestion. where it's broken down into its constitutive amino acids. In the case of starches, you get broken down into glucose and the other monosaccharides or disaccharides. In the case of fats, they get broken down into their constitutive lipid components. You don't just like absorb whole organs into systemic circulation. How is anyone this stupid? What I would recommend is, if you believe this, I would go eat brains of a smart human, because then maybe you might actually be smart if this actually worked. Can you just picture it now? Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order, please? Yeah, I'll take a bag of horse Got a date tonight, and I am ready to rumble. So he says, the stronger the animal, the more strength I believe you're going to derive. So probably eat like a silverback gorilla, you know, because they eat, oh wait, they eat a load of plants. You freaking moron. Actually, no, he's not the moron, because he's making lots of money off of a lot of morons who are buying into his stuff. He's actually smart, because he's saying the stuff that these idiots want to hear so that they can feel manly about myself because I eat bull testicles. Congratulations, you're an idiot. All right, guys, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next week.